different. When I was young, when I saw somebody who had power, I was attracted to it. A 23-year-old today, their natural response, their default response is, I don't want to be around it. I'm actually offended by it. I'm repelled by it. I find it to be something that I just don't want to be connected to, which is very interesting. A generation, again, now, how do I approach that as a leader who might be in places of power that's older? Is I have to own it and then immediately talk about it and create authenticity and transparency and connection to it. So what does that look like? Well, it looks like you saying, hey, guys, for anybody who's young on your team, I'm in charge. I need you to understand, though, that part of my job as the leader here is to sort of turn everything upside down and as much as possible, give you opportunities to sit at the table and have decision-making authority. Just that one little switch of connecting the dots, of actually creating congruency with that young leader who's already thinking that, can be enough to then you now have instant credibility because you were willing to actually talk about it and be authentic about it. So that's one thing. They all want way more authority, decision-making, the ability to have agency way earlier, way faster, way quicker than any of us ever got, right? I mean, I looked around and thought, I got to wait, 10 or 15 years before I even get invited into the room, before I even get to go in the room where there's leather and there's mahogany and decisions get made. And nobody would even let me in that room. If I got in the room, I had to go sit in the corner and not say anything. Today, a 20-something says I should be in that room. I should be sitting at the table in that room, and I should actually be part of the conversation on making a decision in that room. Now, again, is that true or false? I don't know. I just know that that's the expectation. So I have to do I have to actually pull up some more chairs to that table in that room and say, hey, you're young, you just got here 6 weeks ago, but I'm going to invite you into that conversation. Yes. Now here's also what has to happen with that same example is that young leader, when they spout out their idea, they now have to be willing to sit at that table and receive the same sort of appropriate, constructive feedback. That's a nice way to say it, that everybody else at the table is going to get. So that's part of the rules of engagement, that we have to be really clear with a young leader and saying, by the way, let's just set expectations here. I'm going to invite you to this table. I'd love for you to sit at it. But you need to understand, once you're at this table, there's a new level of stewardship and accountability and responsibility that we're all going to have. We may throw your idea under the bus, but it's not personal, right? The third one, then I'll stop. The third one is that we're having to coach and teach and mentor a 20-something who's just out of college on the general life skills that we assume they have when they show up, right? And this is all research. It's, the 1% of college students now coming out of college, they're having to, many companies are giving them a whole 6 months or a year of, here's how you have a conversation. Here's how you respond to an email. Here's how you have a disagreement. Here's how you look somebody in the eye. Here's how you have empathy. Here's how you understand social intelligence. And we showed up and we weren't even given a playbook. We were just get in there and figure it out. But now the leader that's young, it's not that they're trying to be disloyal or a bad employee. They just don't know. So it's our job. I've heard people say it this way. It's our job to parent for the first couple of years that young leader on our team, where again, that would have never been even part of the onboarding process 20 years ago. But now we're like having to say, I'm not going to assume that you're trying to undermine my leadership because you don't actually understand how to give me feedback. I have to understand that it's my job to coach you now and mentor you and actually help you understand that this is the way we operate here. That's a whole different mindset on how we approach the next generation. We have to take a bit more time. And it's this. This is the posture that every single young leader wants. My arm around them, coaching and mentoring them along the way. What it's not is it's not this. It's not like, listen to me because I'm in charge. It's, I'm your coach. I'm not your boss. I'm not your manager. I'm not your supervisor. Nobody wants to be bossed, but they want this. They want the coach. They want the mentor who's with them on the journey. And that's a different posture than what I got, what we got. Because what I got was just be happy you have a job. You better figure it out. Do what I told you to do, and don't ask questions. Okay, I'll try to navigate around that. And that just won't work anymore.